In this video, we're going to go over a tip in regards to office managers or anyone that's really in charge of or adjusting the schedule. One important maybe rule of thumb to use is there are going to be jobs that we have to prepare a quote for that there are going to be some uncertainties. You're going to pull up the job on Google Earth or whatever satellite kind of tool we're using. You're going to see something, it's going to confuse you. Whatever. That's a common occurrence of an uncertainty. That's probably a good example for this given situation, but there could be several of them. Trouble finding information online, etc. But there's going to be quotes you're going to be uncertain about. Is the short of it, and this is how you should navigate those quotes. Okay, so when you are uncertain about a quote that you're preparing, then try to use existing resources to find the answer to your uncertainty. So go to Realtor.com to find pictures. Go to Zillow.com to see, the address, the number of stories, the number of is that a solar panel or is that a solar hot water heater, etc. Try to look through the internet, see if there's some way to answer your question. If existing resources like Realtor.com is probably the best example of somewhere you're going to find additional supplementary information. If that does not help, or other public resources do not help that you have access to, then who is going to know the most about that? The prospect will be the most knowledgeable about their given situation, right? If you pull up their property, the prospect, that customer, that person, they're going to be able to clarify directly with you better than you talking to your supervisor and asking them, what is this? Because neither of you guys might know, but the customer almost guaranteed knows. So if public resources don't work, then contact the customer. Be direct. Ask them for clarification because they know what their property is like, and hopefully they're willing and able to communicate that to you. And oftentimes they appreciate that, like, oh yeah, I know that I've a complex property. It's hard to see because there's lots of trees or whatever the circumstance might be. If neither of those work, if neither looking at Realtor.com or other public information doesn't work, or contacting the person for clarification doesn't work, like the person's unwilling to talk through it or unable to communicate the situation to you over the phone, then assume conservatively and try your best to prepare the quote still as well as you possibly can with the information that you have. Assume very conservatively, and that's the order of priority of how to resolve a situation that you're uncertain about when you're preparing quotes, for instance. Try to find out the information you need by looking at the internet. There's a good chance you can find what you need. Look at different angles of the satellite image, for instance, 2D, 3D. Try to span around the house. Look at other websites if needed. If none of that works, then contact the person. They probably will know. And if neither of those work, then assume really conservatively and try to prepare the quote as well as you can.